could be good if there's some structure behind it, because, you know, one week is I'm running for president, the next week I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Adidas, and the next week it's like, you know, I'm tweeting about my family. Like, I don't know what the hell be going on with dudes, so I never see him locked in on one thing. It's always sporadic. But if he was able to lock in and maybe try to establish some form of a union and, you know, try to get some artists to band together, I could see this being, you know, something that would be dope. But the concept is not new. Like we've heard, P was talking about this when we were teenagers. So Lone, I want to come to you first and see what you think about, you know, just the overall concept of those tweets, because there's some importance there. But, you know, do you see any, you know, do you see this becoming something that might have some value, it might grow some legs and have some substance, or is this just a, you know, a tweet rotation and it'll be something else next week?
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that he was saying was relevant. It's just like he was saying it as if he was the Messiah, and he was the first person to ever speak about owning your own masters and contracts and all this other nonsense. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just a lot for me. But what he was saying did have merit, to an extent. Like, he signed the contracts. He signed them. He had lawyers. He read them. He signed them.
Yep.
Now you're crying about it. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's and you're Kanye West. Like, you're Kanye West. Why are you I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being a hater right now, but
they're gonna call you that because you don't agree with everything he does, so you'll be labeled as a hater for sure.
But like, you know, the irony of a lot of the things going on was at the same time all this was going on, we had just talked about last week the stuff about Hit Boy and using samples without clearing stuff, and then Hit Boy was also as a part of this conversation as well, talking about contracts and, you know, trying to get out of contracts or whatnot. It was just, there's so much going on with it.
Publishing deal too. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a publishing deal. Yeah, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the idea around everything, and then I'll move on, is I think it's important for artists to understand that they should contain ownership of their work. And you should leverage yourself to be in position to own your masters, even if it's in 5 years from now or something, you know, like put yourself in a situation to where you'll eventually get your full ownership back. Always have a lawyer, always read stuff over. Don't just sign blank paper. We've talked about this many times on the show. But you know, he is kind of randomly creating a spectacle around it. When the people in the industry and the independent artists that have set themselves up to do this for years have already been doing this. So it's kind of like, it's I don't know, it's kind of in bad form a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I'm rambling. I'm going to pass.
Spoolz, talk to me. Did you have any thoughts, any feelings, if any, about, you know, his series of tweets? Did you see them? Where are you at with that?
No, I mean, I saw him via reading, like, you know, a couple articles about, you know, what he's been saying and what's been going on. But no, it's like Sean said, it's nothing new. Like, he's not, you know, telling any lies about, you know, the industry, I don't think, you know, but it's nothing new. And like, man, I read earlier this year, I read this Pimp C biography, right? Big long ass book, man. A ton of it is about UGK and Jive Records and, you know, their contracts and this and the third. And like, meaning, and the reason I bring that up is because it's been going on for a long time, man. Like, it's been going on before that. It's been going on in all genres of music. I just don't, you know, as far as the Kanye is concerned, like, yeah, that's great that he came and said that, but I've read an article or two, I can't remember some of the artists' names, but who have said like Kanye was having him sign fucked up deals when he was trying to sign him to good music. You know what I mean?
Nobody's absolved.
Allegedly, I just always have to say that. So yeah, no, it seemed like legitimate reads to me. I can't recall the artist names, but I'll just say that, like, I know that Kanye has, you know, his mental issues, and I certainly can, you know, sympathize with that. And, but he's just so self-serving when he's in these modes, and I think this is just another example of that.
I think he,
in a way.
I think he has the potential with his platform to be able to do something great with it.
I mean, but is he going to? I mean, it might sound weird that I say that's self-serving because he named so many many people and all this, that, and the third. But no, it just the whole thing seemed self-serving to me.
It's not. You're not wrong in my opinion.
For attention, for the
pissing on the Grammy shit. That's attention to me. That's not liberating to me. That's attention seeking. And people. I
think the most freeing thing he could ever do is throw away his fucking phone, man. Is get off of all social media. He lives out in Jackson, Wyoming. It's beautiful out there. Like, dude, just fuck all of it, man. Like, seriously. Like, that would be my 2 cents. I usually don't like to just give out advice to people. I don't know his life like that. You know what I mean? Although we seem to have to know about it when he yells at everybody on these social media platforms. You know what I mean? But man, just fucking disconnect, Kanye. There we go.
I mean, my thing is like the scatterbrain. Like, I don't know what it's going to be next week. It might be president shit next week or politics. Like, well, I think he has the platform to be able to truly make a difference and help a lot of artists. Yes. Well, I believe that there will be structure and a well thought out plan to make this happen. I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Likewise. Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of part of. Yeah, that's just part of it.
Yeah, it just comes with it. Like, that's not me saying that.
I thought it was interesting that Mace wanted an apology as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike.
You're fine, bro. It's not me saying that what he's saying is wrong. It's just like, why should I put that much stock into him saying it? That's my question. Like, I'm thinking more about actions at this point. I want to see what's going to go on and what happens and what goes on moving forward. I think whoever typed that shit out with the tweets, the most recent tweets, there were 6 or 7 bullet points, A+. Everything that he talked about or whoever typed that shit was perfect. Like, it threw me off because all of his tweets are normally just off the cusp. So these were plotted and strategized. Like, they were great. So let's just see if there's any type of structure that comes with this. I hope it is. In my opinion, I hope it is, because you know how bad the industry is, and you know how you can get jerked. I've been jerked. Lone's been jerked. We probably all been jerked. So, kudos to him for mentioning that. But this shit is not groundbreaking. This is not anything that's new. Just get a plan in place and kind of see what happens. That's where I'm at with it. Jay Diff, what's your thoughts on it?
I kind of see it as, and people are probably going a certain type of way about this statement, but this is the Apple effect.
Okay.
You have an Apple phone versus an Android operating phone. The Android's been doing the same shit years and years. And Apple makes a statement and people jump out the window like it's the greatest thing ever. It's some shit that's been around forever. It's the same thing with this contract talk, because literally people in the 90s, 80s, 90s, Prince, he changed his name to a symbol so that he could try to avoid contractual contractual shit to his record company. You know what I'm saying? Because he was tired of them taking his money. You also have people like Tech Nine, who pretty much gets paid every coin that comes out of his camp, goes right back into it because he learned from artists' past mistakes. He adapted. Master P, of course. I mean, he had a distribution deal when he signed his record contract. He still got most of his coins. I mean, if you were paying attention, any of this prior to 2020, you already know that these contracts is all fucked up. A lot of these younger cats are actually, that's the reason why they're not signing these deals, because it's like they don't need to anymore. It's like, if I've already made myself popular through my social network or whatever and internet, why do I need to sign a record deal?
The thing is, Kanye West tries to make things seem like it's about us when it's really about him. Because 1000%. If it's not about just him, okay, I want to see Tiana Taylor's contract. I want to see Big Sean's contract. Yep. I want to see Pusha T's contract. I want to see I want to see John Legend's contract. Do you have him and all these artists that you signed entangled in the same type of foolishness that you got entangled to, because then that doesn't make you any better. Also, a lot of the things that he talks about, I've coming from radio. I have friends who are in radio and records, and when they go over his tweets, they're like, "Fam, you talking about stuff that has always existed." And okay, if you want an 80-20 split, then that's reserved for people like Master P when they do No Limit, okay? Because Profile winds up just putting the records in stores, pressing and distribution, but Master P pays for everything else. When you want to shoot 3 separate videos for Jesus Walks, okay, Def Jam winds up paying for it, but you have to go ahead. There's a whole thing called recoupment, and Kanye, honestly, for all the records he sold, has never really recouped any of the expenses for all of the records he sold, for any of the expenses that come from recording his albums. Like, he'll have a song like Stronger, great record, but he'll have it mixed 10 times at like $30,000 a mix. He'll go ahead and shoot $1 million videos. Does he think that these things come for free? I don't think that Kanye understands, or maybe he doesn't want to understand, and he wants to put it off on people who don't understand the record industry and how these record companies. I'll just go back. The record companies are not invested in art. Record companies like Def Jam, and when they have parent companies of their own, these are banks, and banks give you money, and they are expecting in a return on their investment. And when you do not return everything on their investment, okay, well, we're going to take this much from your publishing until we get all our money back. When we get all of our money back, then you can start making some money. And that's been how it's been from the beginning. And for Kanye to go ahead and try to put out these ridiculous things about, it should be 1-year licensing agreements. Like, okay, that sounds great, but these companies aren't going to make their money back in 1 year. Not for the money that they've invested in artists like Kanye West. So while it sounds good to people, and I'm not trying to play like the people versus record companies and artists versus the machine, but we have to be adults about this. And if you're going to get in bed with a major record company and spend a certain amount of money, and you want to go out and fly 30 people out to record your album in Hawaii or Wyoming or wherever you want to record it, none of that is, that's not on the record company. They want all of their money back plus some. They want to turn a profit on you. And
the whole goal is to turn a profit. Whole goal is to turn a profit.
If you think that's evil, then you should never get in bed with these record companies in the first place. And I would turn Kanye West's words against him. I'd be like, you know what, slavery is a choice. If you want to go there with it, Kanye.
I see what you did.
And once again, you did there. If you're still, if you as somebody who owns or runs a label with good music, if you're signing people to these same kind of deals, like if Big Sean doesn't own his masters, Tiana Taylor doesn't own her masters, and I don't want to hear about you not having your masters, because you're doing the same kind of dirty business.
Here's the thing, man.
All facts.
It's very
actually
astute point, sir.
Yeah, those are bars. I'm in this instance, I'm pulling for him because I hope can shed light on how trash the music industry is. So I want this to go well. I'm saying, like I said again, I just don't know. I don't have confidence in the structure and the execution. I really don't.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/bringingdowntheband, and join our private Discord community with talks on hip hop, music, news, and everything else.